There is a kind of strength that does not announce itself. It does not rush forward demanding recognition or prove its worth through noise. Instead, it grows quietly, taking root in moments when no one is watching. This strength is born in the stillness, when prayers feel unanswered, when efforts seem unnoticed, and when the heart must choose endurance over escape. In these silent seasons, life teaches its deepest lessons. You begin to understand that not every battle is meant to be fought aloud. Some victories are won by standing firm, by refusing to let disappointment shape your identity, and by trusting that unseen work is still work. What feels like waiting is often preparation. What feels like loss is sometimes protection. As days pass, you notice subtle changes within yourself. Your patience deepens, your faith matures. You stop reacting to every challenge and start responding with wisdom. This is not weakness, it is growth. Silence sharpens discernment. It teaches you when to speak and when to let actions speak on your behalf. Others may misinterpret your quietness as indifference or fear, but you know the truth. You are conserving strength, learning timing, and allowing clarity to replace confusion. You are becoming rooted rather than reactive. Like a tree growing deeper roots before reaching higher branches, you are preparing for greater responsibility and wider influence. Eventually, the season shifts. Doors open, answers come. When you finally step forward, it is not with desperation, but with confidence, shaped by endurance. The quiet strength you developed becomes evident, not because you announce it, but because it sustains you. This chapter of silence was never empty. It was full of shaping, refining, and becoming. And now, you carry within you a strength that cannot be shaken, because it was built where only truth could reach you. There comes a season in life when words feel heavy and explanations feel unnecessary. It is not because you have nothing to say, but because you have learned that not everything needs to be spoken. In this season, silence becomes power. It protects your peace, sharpens your focus, and allows your spirit to heal without interference. What once demanded a reaction now receives calm restraint, and that restraint becomes your quiet victory. Silence is not emptiness. It is a sacred space where transformation begins. In the absence of noise, you start to hear your inner voice more clearly. You recognize what truly matters and what has only been a distraction. Pain that was once overwhelming slowly turns into wisdom. Lessons settle deeper when they are not rushed or explained away. Here, you learn that growth often happens in solitude, far from applause and approval. As you walk this path, misunderstandings will arise. People may assume you have changed, grown cold, or lost interest. They may not realize that you are simply choosing depth over drama, clarity over chaos. You no longer feel the need to defend your journey. You trust that what is meant to understand you will understand in time. What is not meant to stay will fade without conflict. In this quiet season, resilience is formed. Each challenge strengthens your inner foundation. You learn to stand without leaning on validation, to believe without constant reassurance. Faith becomes less about emotion and more about conviction. You realize that waiting does not mean stagnation, it means alignment. You are being positioned, refined, and prepared for what lies ahead. Slowly, confidence replaces uncertainty. Not the loud kind that seeks attention, but a steady confidence rooted in self-awareness and trust. You become intentional with your energy, careful with your words, and disciplined with your choices. You stop chasing outcomes and start embodying purpose. What once felt like delay now reveals itself as divine timing. When the moment comes to speak or act, your presence carries weight. Your words are fewer, but they are meaningful. Your steps are measured, but they are firm. Silence has shaped you, not by hiding you, but by strengthening you from within. This chapter was not about disappearing. It was about becoming powerful enough to rise without noise. There is a hidden place where true transformation happens, far from applause and recognition. It is the place where tears are wiped away in private, where prayers are whispered instead of shouted, and where decisions are made without anyone to affirm them. This is where strength is formed, not the kind that dominates, but the kind that endures. In this season, you learn what it means to stand alone without feeling lonely. You begin to understand that being unseen does not mean being forgotten. Every quiet step forward matters. Every time you choose patience over anger, faith over fear, and discipline over comfort, something solid is being built within you. Growth does not always feel powerful. Often, it feels slow, uncomfortable, and uncertain. There are moments when doubt tries to speak louder than hope. You question your progress, your purpose, and even your worth. Yet even in these moments, something within you refuses to give up. That resistance is strength. It is proof that you are still moving, even when the path is unclear. You may not see immediate results, but unseen roots are spreading deep, preparing you for stability in future storms. As time passes, you start to notice a shift. Situations that once drained you no longer have the same effect. Opinions that once controlled you lose their grip. You are no longer desperate for validation because you have learned to validate yourself. Peace becomes more valuable than proving a point. Wisdom teaches you that not every reaction deserves your energy. This chapter is about learning to trust the process when explanations are absent. It is about believing that preparation often looks like delay, and that refinement often feels like isolation. You are not being punished, you are being strengthened. Life is teaching you how to carry more without breaking. One day, others will notice the calm confidence you carry. They may not understand how it was formed, but you will know it was built in silence, shaped by perseverance, and sealed by faith. This chapter was not easy, but it was necessary, because now you do not just survive challenges, you rise through them with quiet, unshakable strength. There is a season in every life when growth does not announce itself. Nothing seems to change on the surface. No applause, no visible progress, no sudden breakthrough. Yet beneath the quiet, something sacred is forming. Roots are stretching deeper, learning the shape of the soil, finding strength where the light cannot reach. This is the season many misunderstand, but it is often the most important one. Silence is not absence, it is preparation. When life grows loud with expectations and comparisons, silence becomes a refuge where clarity returns. In this stillness, you begin to hear what truly matters. You learn the difference between urgency and purpose, between noise and direction. What once felt like delay slowly reveals itself as protection. Strength born in silence is different from strength displayed. It does not need validation because it has already been tested in unseen places. It is forged in moments of restraint, in choosing patience when reaction would be easier, in trusting the process when results are not immediate. This kind of strength does not break under pressure because it was shaped by it. There are battles you win, not by speaking, but by standing firm. There are victories that arrive not through force, but through faith. When you resist the urge to explain yourself to everyone, you conserve energy for what truly deserves your attention. You begin to understand that not everyone needs access to your journey. Some paths are meant to be walked privately, so they can be completed powerfully. Growth often feels uncomfortable because it requires surrender. Old versions of yourself must fall away to make room for something greater. Silence helps you release what no longer serves you and carry forward only what aligns with your future. In that quiet letting go, peace takes root. One day, the change becomes visible. People notice your calm, your wisdom, your steady presence. They may not understand how you became this way, but you will know. It was built in the quiet mornings, the unanswered questions, the prayers whispered instead of shouted. It was shaped when you chose endurance over escape. Honor the silent seasons. They are not empty. They are full of becoming. There is a season when life grows quieter, not because nothing is happening, but because everything important is forming beneath the surface. This chapter is born in that stillness. It is the space where noise falls away and the soul begins to speak in a language only patience can understand. Many mistake this silence for emptiness, but it is anything but that. Silence is heavy with purpose. It carries the weight of becoming. In the quiet, you confront yourself without distraction. There are no crowds to impress, no applause to chase, no explanations to give. What remains is truth, sometimes uncomfortable, often humbling, but always necessary. It is here that strength is refined, not announced. Like roots growing deep underground, the most vital work happens when no one is watching. This chapter asks for endurance. Growth in silence demands trust. Trust that unseen progress is still progress. Trust that delay is not denial. Trust that God, or destiny, or time has not forgotten you. While others rush to be visible, you are being prepared to be unshakable. While others speak loudly, you are learning to listen carefully. There will be moments when the quiet feels lonely. In those moments, remember that solitude is not abandonment. It is alignment. Life removes distractions so you can hear what truly matters. The lessons learned here cannot be taught in public places. They are carved slowly through reflection, restraint, and resilience. When the time comes to step forward, you will not need to announce your arrival. Your presence will speak for itself. The calm in your spirit, the clarity in your decisions, and the depth in your words will reveal where you have been. People may not understand how you became so grounded, so steady, so certain, but you will know. You were shaped in silence. This chapter does not end with noise or celebration. It ends with readiness. Quiet confidence replaces restless striving. You are no longer rushing to prove yourself because the work has already been done within you. And when the next chapter begins, you will carry this truth with you. What is built in silence lasts. In the end, silence was never emptiness. It was preparation. What once felt like waiting was actually shaping, and what seemed like weakness became the source of unshakable strength. Growth did not arrive loudly or suddenly. It unfolded quietly through endurance, faith, and the courage to remain standing when no one was watching. Every unanswered prayer, every unseen tear, and every moment of restraint carried purpose far greater than it appeared. Strength was not found in proving worth to the world, but in learning to trust the process when recognition never came. In the quiet, character was refined. In the stillness, clarity emerged. What was built slowly became solid, rooted in truth rather than approval. The journey taught that not everything meant to rise must first be announced. Some things grow best in hidden places. Faith became the anchor, not because answers were immediate, but because hope refused to fade. Even when the path felt uncertain, purpose remained alive. Each step forward, however small, carried meaning. Every delay served as protection, every closed door as redirection. Nothing was wasted. Now, standing at the end of this chapter, there is no need to explain the journey. The transformation speaks for itself. The silence that once felt heavy now feels sacred. It holds wisdom, resilience, and peace. What was once endured has become testimony. This is not the end, but a beginning, shaped by patience and strength earned through perseverance. The voice that rises now is steady, not rushed, and grounded in truth. The quiet season has done its work. What comes next will not need to be loud, because it will be undeniable.